All right, let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about something that's really on the cutting edge of medicine. It's an AI system called Gene2Care, and its goal, well, it's a big one. It's all about trying to finally connect the super complex world of our genes with the actual real-world decisions doctors have to make for us every single day.
So, to really get why this is such a game changer, you have to put yourself in a doctor's shoes for a second. I mean, right now, they are literally drowning in data. You've got your genomic profile over here, your symptoms you've described over there, and then a stack of lab results. The problem? None of it is connected. It's like someone dumped puzzle pieces from 3 different boxes on your desk and said, okay, now show me the big picture. It's almost impossible.
And all that chaos creates what we can call medicine's diagnostic dilemma. It really boils down to 2 huge challenges that are kind of holding back the promise of truly precision medicine.
First up, you've got the diagnostic bottleneck. Think about it. When all your information is scattered, everything just slows way down. It takes so much longer to connect the dots, right? And that can lead to less accurate diagnoses, really critical delays, and, at the end of the day, just worse outcomes for patients. It's like a massive clog in the system, right at the point where you need it to be flowing smoothly.
Now, the second problem is a little more sneaky, but it's just as dangerous. It's the black box danger. See, we already have AI tools in medicine, but a lot of them just spit out an answer, a risk score, a prediction, and that's it. They don't show their work. They completely hide the why and the how, which puts doctors in this really tough spot of having to just trust it blindly.
But what good is a powerful prediction if a doctor can't trust how it was made? I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it? In medicine, trust isn't just a nice to have, it's everything. If a clinician can't look at the reasoning behind a recommendation, they're not going to bet a patient's health on it. And that lack of trust, it's a huge roadblock for actually using these powerful new tools.
So that's the problem. How do we fix it? Well, it looks like the answer has to be a transparent solution. And that's exactly where Gene2Care AI enters the picture. It's an approach that was designed from the ground up to tackle both the data bottleneck and that black box problem.
And this really is a total paradigm shift. Instead of all these separate, messy streams of data, Gene2Care AI acts like a central hub, an AI core. It pulls in all that disconnected information, your genes, your symptoms, your lab reports, and it actually aligns it, turning what was basically just noise into real actionable intelligence.
So what does that actionable intelligence actually get you? Well, the core promise really comes down to 3 things. Number 1, more accurate disease prediction, because it's looking at everything at once. Number 2, and this is the big one, explainable insights. It actually shows you the why and the how. And number 3, truly personalized treatment recommendations that go way beyond the one-size-fits-all stuff.
Okay, so that's the promise. But how does it actually do it? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside, what we're going to call the glass box, to really understand how this whole explainable AI thing works.
It all starts with something called a multimodal funnel. The AI is built to just seamlessly pull in all these different kinds of data. The objective stuff from your genes, the subjective stuff like how you're feeling, and the clinical reports. It all goes into this funnel and gets combined to create one single, holistic profile of the patient. Once it has all that data, the AI follows this really logical 5-step reasoning process. They call it the biological chain reaction, and it's designed to think just like a human expert would. It starts at step 1 with a specific gene. Then, step 2, it analyzes how that gene affects a protein. Step 3, it maps out how that protein disrupts a whole biological pathway. Step 4, it uses all that to give you an evidence-based risk score for a disease. And finally, step 5, it suggests targeted treatments. You see? It's a clear, logical chain of evidence, from gene all the way to treatment.
And this slide just perfectly sums up the difference. On the left, you've got your standard AI black box. It just spits out a number, 85% risk. Thanks, I guess. But on the right, you have the Gene2Care glass box. It gives you that same 85%, but then it shows you why. It breaks it down. Hey, 40% of that risk comes from this specific gene, 25% is from your clinical history, and another 20% is based on the symptoms you have right now. It doesn't just give you an answer, it gives you the evidence.
This whole approach has a name, and it's called Explainable AI, or XAI for short. And all it really means is an AI model that's built from the start so that we, as humans, can actually understand what it's doing. The key takeaway is this: it doesn't just deliver a diagnosis, it delivers the evidence.
Okay, so that's the tech, and it's super cool. But what does it actually mean for doctors and for patients? Well, this is where the system gets really smart. It uses that one powerful AI engine to create two totally different views or lenses, one for the doctor and one for the patient.
And it does this with a dual interface design. Underneath it all, there's just one single AI engine, so it's one source of truth. But the way it presents the information completely changes depending on who's looking at it.
So for the doctor, the view is just packed with all the technical details, high-fidelity data, the risk scoring breakdown, those full XAI pathways we talked about, and important red flag alerts. But for the patient, that same complex info gets translated into something totally different. Easy to understand health summaries, accessible language, and most importantly, personalized care plans with actionable steps you can actually take.
You know, when you put all of this together, it really does point to a future that isn't just predicted by AI, but one that's explained. It's setting a whole new standard for what we should all expect from precision medicine.
This table just lays it all out so clearly. Think about the evolution here. We started with old-school electronic health records, where data was totally siloed. Then we moved to the current standard, AI, which is usually single-modal and a total black box. And now we're looking at where Gene2Care is headed, multimodal, meaning it takes in all the data, glass-box transparency with XAI, personalization right down to the genomic level, and this is huge, an interface for both the doctor and the patient. It's a massive leap forward. So the ultimate vision here is pretty clear. It's about moving away from these opaque, confusing systems and stepping into a new era of transparent, understandable precision medicine. It's really about shifting from black boxes to something we can all see into.
And I think this one quote just says it all. Gene2Care AI doesn't just predict the future of healthcare, it explains it. Now, a quick but important disclaimer. This is still in the proof of concept stage. So Gene2Care AI is a clinical reasoning demonstrator. That means any insights it generates would absolutely need to be verified by a board-certified medical professional.
But that leaves us with a really powerful final thought. What this project proves is that it's possible. It's possible to build AI that explains itself, even in one of the most complex and high-stakes fields imaginable. So it kind of makes you wonder, right? If our medical AI can learn to explain its reasoning, what else in our lives should we start demanding an explanation from?